Hi, my name is Sarah, and like moms all over the world today, I had the very difficult job of telling my children about the shooting that occurred at the elementary school this morning, December 14th, 2012. Even using the most cursory of details, it was probably one of the most difficult things to talk about with my 5 children. One of my sons asked, "Mom, what would cause a person to shoot children?" And I said, "Honey, that is a question that even adults are asking today. And quite frankly, I don't know what was going through that person's mind. But one thing is very clear, and that is that there are people in this world who are hurting." And I said, "Honey, what do we do when we know that people are hurting?" And he said, "We love them." And that just totally melted my heart. That is exactly what we do. And it makes me happy that parents can make a difference like that. That parents can talk to their kids and help form ideas like that, that we need to love people. There's a lot of talk today condemning violence. Condemning violence is important. This is evil. It should be condemned. But it's also cheap applause. I can't find anyone who would say, "Oh no, there's a question whether or not it's violent, if this should happen." Nothing like that. Everyone agrees that it's violent. Everybody agrees that this sort of behavior should not take place. What is more difficult, but yet much more meaningful to do, is to love people who are hurting. Today, this afternoon, I saw on Facebook different counseling services posting saying, if you are a victim of this tragedy, we're offering free counseling services. Even offering free counseling to people who were nowhere in the vicinity and had no relatives. They just wanted to help people who were suffering because of this. I think that's very commendable. Please don't stop doing that. But in your offer for counseling, I want for you to make it known that people can come to you, that you are, as a counselor, a safe person to talk to, and that you are willing to talk about the difficult and disturbing things going on in people's minds, to talk about the harm of causing themselves, the harm that they might be thinking of causing towards others, and to help them in a meaningful way to work through it. That will make a difference. And pastors as well. Pastors, you have love of Christ's love, and I encourage you not to just keep it within the confines of your quiet congregation, where something like this, of course, would never happen, right? But you've been put in your community to reach out to the people there. And so as you talk to your congregation, as your leaders in your community, as you talk to your community, I encourage you to say, we are a place where people can come for help if they are hurting, and we will welcome you here, and we will walk with you, and we will love you and be your friend. And that's not an easy thing to do. Certainly there are personal barriers that you can have that are for your protection, that are wise. There are certain precautions you can take in a congregation that are wise. But the bottom line is that if you have faith, that you're also trusting that the Lord would bring people to you who need Christ, who need that love. Because the Bible says that Jesus did not come for those who are healthy, but he came to heal those who are sick. And I believe that that's our mission, to reach out to people who are sick. And you know, it's not an easy thing. It's much easier to condemn violence. It's not an easy thing at all to help people who are hurting. It's not easy to spend extra time on the phone with them late at night. It's not easy to have to go out of your way and visit with them while they cry. Things that have happened in their life. It's not easy to have to call them and follow up and ask hard questions. You know, the last time we talked about this or that, this is what you had said that you were going to do. How is that going? That kind of commitment is not easy. It can feel inconvenient, but that reaction is so meaningful and so important, and it is the answer. So I hope that this perspective in today's conversation would leave my viewers thinking, how can I make a difference? It's not just about speaking out against violence, but it's preventing it from happening in the first place. And like I said earlier, we don't know what was going on in that person's mind, but we do know that he was disturbed and hurting, and that there are like him who could use help and love. So let's be that to them. Thanks for listening today.